But now let's turn to tonight's breaking news. Sussan Ley has dumped Jacinta Nampijinpa Price from Shadow Cabinet. This after Jacinta refused to apologise for remarks that offended the Indian community. And then today, she declined to endorse the opposition leader.
Leadership, do you have confidence in her leadership?
Look, again, those matters are for our party room.
Do you have full confidence in her leadership?
Those matters are for our party room.
Sussan Ley felt she was left with no option but to ask Jacinta to step down when she wouldn't endorse her leadership. It's my understanding that Ley sought the view of many in the Liberal Party and they agreed that Price continuing in Shadow Cabinet was untenable. Dave Sharma said as much publicly on Chris Kenny's show earlier this evening. He said if Jacinta Price wasn't happy, she should step down from Shadow Cabinet. So around 90 minutes ago, Sussan Ley made this announcement.
Senator Jacinta Nampijinpa Price has failed a test of high standard that I have set for members of my shadow ministry. Confidence in the leader is a requirement for serving in the shadow ministry. A couple of hours ago, I spoke to the senator and I advised her of my decision.
Let's bring in our Wednesday panel now. Former Victorian Liberal Party President Michael Kroger and Labor legend Graham Richardson. Always love having you both on the show. Michael, do you think Sussan was right to dump Jacinta Price?
Well, Sharri, she had absolutely no choice. What was Jacinta thinking? I mean, 3 times we all love Jacinta Price, but if you're asked 3 times publicly whether you support the leader and you won't say yes, of course you have to be axed from the shadow ministry. I mean, I don't know what she was thinking. I mean, that's politics 101. When, I remember in 1974 when Tony Staley, Richard will remember this, Tony Staley was Bill Snedden's parliamentary secretary. He didn't have confidence in Snedden, he resigned. Now, it's slightly different because he wasn't asked publicly. But if you don't have confidence in your leader, you are free to resign from the shadow cabinet. But if you're asked publicly whether you support the leader, what else was Sussan Ley to do? Sussan Ley was absolutely correct. I'm sorry to say this to Jacinta, but you have to support the leader. I mean, Plebiscite, everyone knows Tanya Plebiscite absolutely loathes Albanese. But if she's asked publicly, of course she supports the leader. This is a team business. Even though you're a star winger, you can't kick the ball in any direction you like. You've actually got to kick it towards your goals. So Jacinta did the wrong thing today, and of course it was a sacking offence. And Sussan Ley was 100% correct. She had no choice. And, I think the Liberal Party Australia-wide probably needs a bit more discipline, and Sussan Ley has led the way in pointing that out to people today.
In a sense, Jacinta's answer at that press conference was a challenge to Sussan Ley. If Sussan Ley wouldn't have acted and asked her to leave Shadow Cabinet, then her authority would have been diminished. What do you think about that, Richo?
No, I think that's right. I think her authority would definitely have been diminished. I don't think she had too many choices about what she was about to do, and I don't think what she did surprised any of us.
And this all could have been handled differently. Jacinta could still be serving in Shadow Cabinet, Richo.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. It could have been handled differently, but it wasn't. And you have to deal with what's in front of you, not with what you wish was in front of you.